Meanwhile, the world is looking forward to the World Health Organization's briefing. The WHO was supposed to give out information on the origins of the COVID-19, but instead it has left some pretty big gaping holes in the investigation. Clearly, it appears at this point of time that it is advantage China in terms of the narrative about the coronavirus. The briefing has led to, in fact, more questions than answers. The WHO has said that the theory of COVID-19 being made inside a laboratory in China is highly unlikely, adding that it has been refuted by scientists across the world. So the thing is, for many conspiracy theorists, they're back to square one. The question, of course, is how did the virus originate? Well, at this point of time, WHO says that it needs to investigate a bit more. Listen in.
All the work that has been done on the virus and trying to identify its origin continue to point towards a natural reservoir of this virus and similar viruses in bat population. But since Wuhan is not a city or an environment close to these bat environments, a direct jump from bats to the city of Wuhan is not very likely, and therefore we have tried to find what other animal species were introduced and moving in and out of the city that could have potentially introduced or contributed to introduce the virus, in particular in the Huanan market.
Despite an investigation which has been going on since May 2020, WHO hasn't been able to throw light on the source of COVID-19, while bats and pangolins were considered to be potential candidates for the transmission. Now, according to the WHO, coronavirus samples found in these species are not identical to the coronavirus infection. So the question, of course, is what is the source of COVID-19? How did humans get infected in the first place?
And high-quality management system.
Evidence from targeted studies so far have shown that coronavirus is most highly related to SARS-CoV-2 are to be found in bats and pangolins, on the basis of high similarity in sequences between the sampled viruses and SARS-CoV-2. However, the viruses identified so far from neither of these species are sufficiently similar to SARS-CoV-2 to serve as direct progenitor of SARS-CoV-2.
Now, if this appears to be the whole picture, then that isn't actually the case. The World Health Organization has also failed to acknowledge the testimonies of various whistleblowers who spoke about COVID-19 cases in China dating back to before December 2019. Now, as per them, there were no cases in Wuhan prior to what China claims to be its first case in December 2019.
Relevant literature on early circulation was an important part of our study. This study suggested that SARS-CoV circulation preceded the cases by several weeks. Some of the suspected samples date before the first reported case of COVID-19.
The Wuhan investigation has not changed the picture of the outbreak. These are not our words. The WHO itself has affirmed the statement. If there is someone who has benefited from this, the WHO has clearly given China, it appears, a bit of an advantage, a strategic one. Questions and questions. That is what the world has to ask to the World Health Organization. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.